So last week I'd been talking about service, and I couldn't help but mention how you can't talk about leadership, greatness, and love without putting service in the equation, and how for you to be able to serve adequately, you need to have love as a part of it. Because why I'm talking about serving effectively with love as a part of it is because when you serve with a motive just to do something at that moment or to attract people at that very moment, you realize that as you begin to serve, or when you are put in the position that you wanted to be, you realize that you slowly get frustrated and you stop serving because love was not part of it in the beginning. But if you serve because you love, you get to see that even as you continue serving, you're doing it out of love. So it's difficult to stop something that you love because you know that I'm doing this out of the bottom of my heart, out of the love that I have for these people, out of the love that I have for this project, out of the love, love, love. So my point is, if we want to be great leaders of tomorrow, if we aspire to be great leaders, let's begin to serve now. Let's serve out of love. And this week, I just wanted to talk about how you need to look around your circle and see which ones you can invest in. I don't mean you should now go and befriend every Jim and Jack that you know and say, you know what, I'm going to just choose two people that I'm going to be talking to because I can't invest in you. No, what I mean is we have a lot of friends, but among all the many friends, you know the ones that are in your inner circle, you know the ones that require you giving energy in, you know the ones that require a lot of time to be invested in. And it's important to be able to identify those friends or those acquaintances in your circle, because what's going to happen is if you're going to treat every person that you know as an inner circle person, or as, you know, an acquaintance that is very important to you, what's going to happen is you're going to require to give each and every one of them the same attention. And so you're going to want to text each and every one of them, you're going to want to call each and every one of them, you're going to want to visit each and every one of them, you're going to want to spend money on each and every one of them, which is not a bad thing. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you're going to be drained in so many different ways, because that's just a whole thing to do. It's a lot of work. Because if you look at your schedule, I don't know how your schedule is, but I know that if you have a job, a business, a dream, a talent, a skill, or something that you've just decided to commit to, you realize that it doesn't give you so much room to be able to have time to do all of this. If you have a job, like a friend of mine, we were just talking the other day, and she was talking about how she's so busy that sometimes she doesn't have time to reply to all her messages, and she feels so guilty because she knows she's busy. She would love to reply, but she's very busy. So even when she gets to her phone, she just has to pick the ones that are urgent or the ones that are critically important, and then the rest she'll reply when she creates some time, maybe later during the week or during the weekend. And she feels like people judge her out of that decision, because it feels like, oh, so you won't text me anymore because you have a job. Yes, I won't text you anymore because I have a job. Not because the job has made me pompous, but because I don't have time. I don't have as much time as I used to. When I didn't have a job, I would sit there watching my phone, texting, calling, because that was the only thing I was doing. But as we grow, we are getting busy with so many responsibilities, with some projects, with some work, and so it becomes difficult to be able to reach out to everybody. So today I want to talk to those people that are like me, those of you that are like me and my friends that can't be able to give everyone attention, and sometimes we just need our me time. You could, I mean, it's okay to look for your friends, it's okay to hang out, but it's also important for you to also invest in yourself. When do you have time to just, have time for yourself and say, you know what? Yes, I could watch a movie with my friends. Yes, I could go out with babe and we could have this time. But I also just need like an hour in a day where I can just do what I want to do. Something for me. It's very important for you, because it's during that period that you rejuvenate. It's during that period that you learn yourself. And it's very important to know you. Most of us are so busy because we're always with friends, with babe, with parents, with family. We haven't had time to be alone, and so we haven't found out who we really are. It's those moments when you're alone when you realize that, oh, so I actually like watching such things. Oh, I actually like listening to such music. Because when you are with everybody else, some of your preferences, you put them aside because you want to fit in, but that's not good for you. And so it's important to also be in your space and say, okay, when I'm alone, what do I want to do? Do I actually love to read? Do I love to watch this thing? Do I love to go to this place? Or do you go to that place because everybody goes there? And so I just want to encourage us this week. One of the things I just want to really emphasize is there's nothing wrong with you having preferences. And some of those preferences, find time when do the things that you love. We are young and we only live once, and it's very saddening to know about a lady from church. It's a very young girl that just passed this morning, and I began to just think about the life that she led, and I'm thinking, I hope she had time to enjoy herself. I hope she did some of the things that she loved. I hope she bought the clothes she had wanted to buy. I hope she had gone to the places she had wanted to go. But sometimes, because we want to just be in a safe space, we don't like to do some of the things we love, which is important. But you need to also look at, are you changing who you are because you want to fit in with everybody else? Or are those preferences going to help anybody? Or are those preferences doable? Are they viable? Are they wise? Are they, friendly, economically friendly? Because you can't have preferences that are above you. You need to see, and they shouldn't hurt anybody else. It's okay to say, hey ladies, you guys want to order shima, I want to order fries, so why don't we all just eat what we would love to eat? There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you find you go to a restaurant and people are like, what are you going to order? And you're like, if I order something slightly above everybody, I might look like I'm trying to show off my money. So you end up eating the least thing that you don't love to eat because you want to seem like, we are all just at the same place. It's okay to want what you want. And people around you, if you have true friends, if your friends really know you, they should be okay with you getting what you want. They should actually know, like, oh, we know you're going to order the pork because you love pork. We know you want to fly when going to, vacation. We know you want, because we know you love to fly and we know you can afford it. But then we can't afford, we're taking the bus. So unless you really choose to come with us, but we know what you love, people around us should know us, and we should be okay to express ourselves. And that still takes me back to what we're investing in and who we're investing in. So as you look at your preferences in this week, what do you prefer? Also look at your circle. If your circle doesn't make you comfortable to be able to be able to express yourself, then you need to change your circle. Because my friends know I don't like bread. I mean, they know I don't like bread. So when we go somewhere, of course, they will not bring up us buying bread. And even if they wanted, they'll be like, okay, we are buying bread. What would you like to eat? There's nothing wrong with that. And so this week, I just want to say, you can't invest in everything and everyone. Try to choose those people that you can really invest in so that you don't drain yourself out. Some of us, we are tired. We are going to work the next day exhausted, not because we didn't have time to rest, but because we wanted to make sure that before we went to bed, after we knocked off, we wanted to catch up with all the 50 friends that we have. And at the end of the day, you end up sleeping at 4, and at 6 you gotta wake up and go to work, and you expect to give your best at work, and you expect to be excellent. It doesn't work like that. Your rest is important. Your self time, your self-development time is important, and your friends also are important. So this week, my encouragement to each and every one of you is, you can't invest in everybody. Look at your inner circle. Look at all your friends. Who do you want to invest in the most? And those of us that, people are taking time to reply, let's also understand that they're busy. Let's also understand they might be caught up. And if they get back to us whenever they can, we should be okay and understand that, oh, things were bad. But those of us also that are busy, let's explain ourselves and say, okay, I didn't get back to you earlier because I was caught up. But then if you just leave somebody hanging for like 4 years, that's also another thing. So be nice, be kind, be amazing, love, serve. But at the end of it all, don't forget about finding out who you are. Take time for yourself. Don't drain yourself out. You don't owe anybody anything except love. So love on people, but also know the limits you can go. You need rest. You need your time. You need to achieve your goals. So all of that